And now for something completely different. Hello, my name is Rachel, and something I haven't mentioned before, I like to try and fix things. So what I'm going to try and do today is I have a small rock chip in my windshield on my vehicle, and I bought a kit to repair it, and we're going to give it a shot and see what happens. So here is the repair kit, and I did already open it so that I could pull out the instructions and read over them. And I also have watched a whole bunch of videos on this. And I also have some paper towels, some rubbing alcohol to clean the window, gloves to keep the resin off my hands, some Q-tips to clean down into the cracks, and a little UV light to speed up the curing. And I did try to move my car out of direct sunlight because you're supposed to do this out of direct sunlight and then move it into direct sunlight when you're ready to cure. Oh, and I also needed a little step stool because I'm short, and this is a little SUV. Now here is the little chip in my windshield. It's a little bit smaller than a nickel, I think. And that's what we're going to be trying and filling in today. And our kit includes some resin, a tool, and a razor blade. So here's the tool. Here are some curing sheets. This is the part that pushes it down into the crack. There is our razor blade, and this is our resin. Now the first thing that we do is we take this razor blade and we just scrape over the crack just to remove any loose glass pieces that might be there. There's another super small little just surface thing right here that I'm also just going to put a drop of resin in. I won't actually use the tool for. My next step is to take the rubbing alcohol, put it on a paper towel, and just clean the surface over and around the chip. It's a little bit cold out here, so I'm a little bit sniffly. And then I'm just taking a Q-tip just to see if I can really clean in there. You're supposed to do this as soon as the chip occurs, but this chip has been here for about a week. And apparently if dirt gets down in there, it can interfere with the appearance of your repair. And of course the other thing, like I said, I watched a lot of videos, including a video of a professional doing this. And the first thing he told his customer was, this can go one of two ways. We might actually reinforce it and maybe even diminish the appearance of it, or something could go horribly wrong and it could make it crack 10 times worse. So this is, I figure either way, this would make for a good video. Either you get to watch me fix something or you get to see a train wreck. Okay, so the next step is we put this little tool on and I center this circle right over the impact. And just press the suction cups down. And then after that, we separate these two pieces. This is the part that forces the resin down. This is the little chamber. There's a little rubber tip here, and we want to put that rubber tip up against that impact. So you just screw it in. And next I'm going to go inside and see if we have that lined up. And I'm not sure if you can see it there, but it does now seem to be lined up pretty well with the initial impact point of that crack. So I've opened the little bottle of resin, and the directions say to put in initially 3 to 4 drops. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I said 3 to 6. So we'll do 5. Have a paper towel to wipe off the residue. You don't want the resin to get onto your paint job. And then our next thing, and this is what can cause further damage because we're applying pressure, is we screw this thing in here, and it will push the resin down hopefully into the crack. You just let that sit for a few seconds. Look for any seepage, which we don't seem to have any seepage yet. And that's good. Means I have it tight enough. Once you put the resin in and screw the pressure driver down into it, you're supposed to let it sit for about 5 to 6 minutes. So I actually just went and did that. And I looked from the inside, and it looks like just about all of the crack is filled in. So what you do next is then you do the little release it. This is supposed to release any air bubbles. And you do this several times where you just release it and screw it back in. And once I'm done with all that, I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the last time. Pull that out. And then you lift up these tabs to break your seal. And now I have the excess resin dripping down. Just wipe that off. And then the last step, you take a curing sheet, which I managed to get cat hair all over because cats. Let me wipe that off real quick. Okay, and then you put a final drop of resin here on the outside. And then you just lay a curing sheet over top. And then this little one over here, I wasn't going to push into it. It's just a little surface thingy, so I was just going to throw some on top of it and just throw a curing sheet on it. Okay, so the sun actually came out, so rather than stand there and hold the UV flashlight on it for 10 minutes, I've left the sun to cure it for about 20 minutes. And let's see if this is dry yet. Feels dry. Yep, doesn't feel like a liquid anymore. So I just peel off these curing sheets. And the final step is to take your razor blade one more time and then just scrape off the excess. That came off rather easily. Okay, that actually was super quick and easy. And our results, I mean, Definitely a lot smaller and harder to see than it was previously. I can still feel like a little bit of chip on this one, so I might actually want to revisit this one with a little bit more resin. That one feels pretty flush though. Okay, and here you can see it's just 2 little specks left, and I can still feel a little divot in one, so I think I might try and redo it again. Put a little bit more resin in there and see if I can make that flush. But yeah, it did a pretty good job. It's definitely smaller and less noticeable than it was previously, and hopefully it reinforced my windshield. Didn't cause it to crack any further, which was a concern. But since it didn't do that, hopefully it did what it was supposed to, which was reinforce the windshield and prevent it from spreading. So yeah, we did a pretty good job here. So thank you for coming along with me with my little experiment to try and fix the chip in my windshield. I think we improved it greatly, which is a plus. This car, it's not a new car, it's a 2015, but it's new to me. I've actually only had this car 2 weeks and I've already gotten a chip in the windshield. My old car I had for 13 years and never once got a chip in the windshield. But I was really glad that this kit exists. I'd gotten a quote from one of the professional companies and it was like $110 just for that tiny little chip. So I was really glad I could find this $10 kit, and so far it seems to have really done a good job at minimizing that damage. But again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day.